News, introducing Hollywood Casino, now open.
From the WHIO Broadcast Center in high definition, this is News Center 7.
Good morning, I'm Laren Livingston. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of News Center 7. At 7, we are just moments away from a building implosion in downtown Dayton. We have live crews positioned near the Schwind building on Ludlow Street. It's scheduled to be brought down around 7:15, not even 14 and a half, I guess, minutes or so away from now. It was built in 1913 and housed hotels, apartments, and the old Moraine Embassy restaurant. And this morning it'll be imploded to make room for student housing. Let's go out live to News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. She begins our Team 7 coverage. Miss Gabrielle, I see there's a crowd of folks behind you gathering this morning. What can you tell us about what's going on right now?
I can tell you that we are all behind tape of safety is basically what we're being told. There's a group here that has gathered. Many of them are here to document this. Some of them have connections to the Schwind building or the Dayton Daily News building. Other people, they just want to see what's going on. Some people even staying in the hotel. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I want to show you something very interesting here. This is basically the ceremonial box that will be pushed down to detonate the implosion. This is where all the action is going to be. And as you can see, we have a front row seat to when this is all going to happen, 7:15. Now, I've been talking with people all morning long. We know that there's going to be a 10-minute warning. There's going to be a 4-minute warning, a 1-minute warning, a 10-second countdown. And again, they will all be focused here. Now, last-minute people being told to get out of the area. They've made sure that the streets are clear. They've draped the buildings in effort to protect them. You see some of the folks there in the red. They are members of the Steve Roush Incorporated. They are the ones that are actually bringing this building down. They're also going to be documenting it. There's a guy right there in front of us in a red outfit. His name is Luke, and he's going to be documenting this thing and also providing footage for us. They've also blocked off the area. They were making sure everybody is safe. And I was telling you a little bit about some of the people that are down here, talking with them this morning. Kind of interesting. You see this building behind me? This is a hotel. And there are people staying here. And Thomas, come on over here. I want you to tell me a little bit and show me. You just got this, yesterday? Tell me what you got here.
Right. This is actually a notice that they said that they had just figured out that this building was going to be imploded. So basically, we had a 4-day reservation, and we found out on the last day. So we were basically screwed over by the company. But it's kind of bittersweet if you think about it, because I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything bigger than a tree fall to the ground, so I'm kind of excited. It's like Super Bowl Sunday for me.
Well, and that's the thing. You said you get a letter like this, and you're a little bit like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah,
but yet, but at the same time, you've got a front row seat here that other people don't have.
Yes, that's correct. So I'm pretty excited about this.
Okay, and you said your goal today was to what? Sleep in?
Yeah, sleep until about 8 o'clock. It's our last day, so we had a day off today. But I mean, this makes up for it, I guess.
I'm sorry, Thomas. That is not going to happen this morning. Get out your camera, your phone. I'm sorry about that, but welcome to Dayton. He's from Illinois. He said he's going to be leaving here as soon as he's done here, right?
Yeah, yes, that's correct.
Okay.
This is just enough for me to stay.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for talking to me for a second. A lot of people here just kind of dealing with the fact that downtown is shut down. They did this on a Saturday because of the fact that there's less traffic, there's less people downtown, and there's also a chance doing it in the morning that the weather's a little better, and Erica will talk about that a little bit later. Now, we have another crew that's going to provide Team 7 coverage of what is happening here in just about 12 or so minutes. That's Drew Simon. He is up with all of the officials, making sure that this blast goes off very safely, and they've been working on this project for a long time. Drew, what can you tell us from the command post?
And right now I'm actually joined by Interim Director and Chief of Dayton Fire, Jeffrey Payne, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about safety. Now, Chief, I've got to ask you, you've been having these plans in place for several weeks now on this implosion. What type of safety procedures do you have in place as a fire department to ensure not only the safety of the public, but also the safety of the people involved here this morning?
Well, we've established some standby crews that are out on the nearby streets that are going to be in place should something happen awry, unplanned event, and we will remain on the scene until we're given an all clear by the demolition crews.
Okay. And as far as the implosion itself, what are you expecting? What types of things do you do as a fire department during the implosion itself and after the implosion?
Well, as a fire department, we're just wanting to hopefully, first of all, make sure the building goes down the way it's planned to go down. And we're mostly just going to be a standby to, you know, and just in case something else, it goes a different direction. And that way we can put resources in place to address those issues.
All right. Thank you very much. And good luck to your crews this morning. We're just minutes away, folks. And Laren, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Brother Drew. We're going to take a quick break, but you can come right back here to News Center 7 Saturday for more coverage on that implosion in downtown Dayton. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Amelia's Bistro. Smart.
It starts with you.
Account and a good job, or own your own car, you could be approved for a loan with us. Call Eagle Loan Company at 836-1400. We make loans to people, not to credit scores.
Our coverage continues as we wait to watch the implosion of the Schwind building. About 50 pounds of dynamite will be used to bring down the 12-story building. Let's go out to News Center 7's Drew Simon, who is getting a kind of a bird's eye view of that building as it goes down this morning. Drew? Maybe having some technical issues with Drew there. So we'll take it down on the ground to Miss Gabrielle Enright, who's down where, not too far from where I guess that ceremonial trigger will be pushed in just a few minutes. Miss Gabby?
Oh, that's right, Laren. Look how close I am. You see the wooden box down there? That's what they're going to push. So when you're saying that I'm just a few feet from it, I am literally just a few feet from it. There are folks here that are getting ready to not only push that button, but also document everything that's happening. And look at all these people behind me. There are news crews. There are people that officials, police, fire. Some folks have connections with this building. Other people do not. They just want to see it. And within the last 10 minutes, I want to show you what they're doing. You're looking at a parking garage here on 3rd and Ludlow. They've started what they're calling water cannons. That will help keep the dust down when they actually bring the building down. Now, this has been around since 1913. It's had apartments. It had a restaurant and a bar. A lot of people spent time down here. So watching this come down is going to be making way for student housing, and bringing this down has taken months and months of preparation. We just had the 10-minute warning a few minutes ago. And you're not Thomas, you're Jesse. Come on over, Jesse. You are one of those people that just decided to come down. Why?
We just wanted to see something that's once in a lifetime.
And what are you expecting to see? You've heard about it, but how are you going to prepare yourself for an actual implosion? How do you prepare?
I don't know if you can prepare, really. Just a lot of excitement.
And who did you bring with you down here?
My fiance.
And why is this type of Dayton history, why is it important? What do you hope happens from this experience?
I hope, the new housing goes up and becomes a lot nicer neighborhood and opens way for more businesses.
Okay, so when it goes down and goes boom, how nervous are you going to be? What are you going to do? I mean, you seem like a pretty tough guy. What's going to happen?
I'm going to be a little anxious, but hoping it goes down straight, not into the hotel.
Are you staying at the hotel?
No.
Okay, so you're not like Thomas, who I talked with a few minutes ago. All right, well, listen, we've only got a few more minutes. Thanks for coming over, and we'll send you back to your fiance so you can hug her.
Thank you.
All right, well, what we're doing here in the last couple of minutes as we wait for all of this, Laren, is we're talking with people. We're making sure that people are ready to go, and you're going to be documenting this. Can I talk with him, Luke? Is it okay if I talk with him about documenting this process, or can I talk to you? Okay, well, they're getting ready to document this stuff. They've got cameras all over the place, and we're actually going to be able to show you some of that footage a little bit later today. Did you hear that? That, I believe, means we're approximately maybe 4 minutes away. We've been told we're going to hear that one more time at 1 minute. We're also going to hear that again at about 30 seconds and 10 seconds. Then they're going to count us down. That is when we're going to see that box actually be pushed down. Now just take a look down at the end of this street here. This is what they've got blocked off. This is 3rd and Ludlow. You can see the Schwind building. They've actually draped everything to make sure that the other buildings are protected. Now, we've talked with them about what's going to happen, the dust plume. They said that depending on how the wind goes, it could last about 30 minutes. We talked with someone earlier, an environmental expert said everything hazardous has been taken out of there. Now, you might recognize this man right in front of me. His name is Scott Wells. He's actually with Steve Roush Incorporated. You doing okay? I'm actually live here. Can you tell me what we're anticipating? We're just a few minutes away from this.
We're just keeping track of every minute until the final 10-second countdown. So, and keeping our fingers crossed, said a little bit of prayer this morning, and hope everything goes well. And
preparations, everything so far so good?
Yeah, we had a little bit of high winds this morning, higher than what we thought. So our dust protection is kind of blowing around a little bit, but we're prepared with the water and the street sweepers to start cleanup as soon as we're allowed back in.
And Mr. Roush, is he down here today?
Yes, he is. He's standing right over there with their other crew. He's in the blue shirt.
All right. So anything else you want to let people at home know about this? And you said Mr. Roush very excited about today.
Yes, he is. We're all very excited and very nervous at the same time.
Well, we'll talk to you when it's all over.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we're getting very close to the 1-minute mark. Again, look at the crowd that's gathered here. I just want you to take a second to look at all of the people. You may recognize some faces. There's some Dayton firefighters. There's some Dayton police officers. There's a lot of people in this crowd. Some people just curious. Other people, like Matthew here, documenting it. A piece of history is coming down here in Dayton today, but this is going to hopefully bring in some new life to the downtown Dayton area. Now, Dayton Daily News Building, one reason we're excited about this too, part of this building going to be preserved today. Another part going to be knocked down, but we're very proud of the history that we have in the Dayton down area. And get ready for the next sound. We have 1-minute warning coming down in 1 second here. Handle up. 1 minute. As you stay live with us here, we're just going to watch what's happening here, documenting history. Laren, this is very exciting down here. You should be able to feel the tension. Everyone's trying to get ready and prepared for a photo. They've got their smartphones out. They've got their cameras. Everyone trying to document this.
Gabby, can you hear me?
I can still hear you.
Do you have any ideas?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Where's the count right now?
We're probably about 10 seconds,
Wow.
so Laren, get ready. We're about to see
ma'am.
history.
I'm excited. I've never seen this before.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burn the hole! Burn the hole! Burn the hole!
And there we go. Laren, history has come tumbling down here in the city of Dayton. You see the dust plume. You heard it. And look at the crowd. There's a lot of smiles. And it appears, at least from this angle, it appears that the building did exactly what they wanted to at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can...
You hear some of the alarms going off, but Laren, I can still hear you. You have a question?
I was just going to say, I'm not sure if you have a monitor down there where you are, but we've got a kind of the bird's eye look going on. And like you said, it looks like it went down exactly how it was supposed to. That dust is rising, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of that dust out of here with some of those winds that Erica was talking about earlier, so we can see just kind of how this building came down. 12 stories of this building coming down this morning, 120 feet tall.
Right.
In comparison to, I guess, the Kettering Tower Tower, which is about 400 feet tall there in downtown Dayton, the Key Bank Tower not too far away, where I believe we also have a crew getting another shot of some of this going on this morning, about 380 feet tall. So a lot of concrete just fell to the ground here this morning. What are you seeing down there when it comes to, I guess, the folks and after the booms went off and the ground shook a little bit?
Right, absolutely. Laren, you're still with me. I'm talking with Jason. We're going to continue to show you these live pictures. But Jason, what was that like to watch and see?
That was pretty neat. I've always wanted to see a building blow up, and I finally got a chance.
Well, tell me a little bit. I mean, did it seem like it was pretty smooth?
Oh, yeah. That was actually pretty good. I've seen a fire stack go down before, and it landed on the power station in Springfield. I seen that big mess up, but other than that, this was actually pretty good.
And the dust plume, you heard there's nothing hazardous in it or anything. Does it bother you at all?
No, not at all. No, I'm in a safe area, so I'm good.
All right. Well, listen, I really appreciate you talking to me and letting me know. There's a lot of people down here. You were starting to see it clear a little bit. Everybody seems to be very calm. There's a lot of smiles. We're going to have to talk with them officially to find out how things went. But at least at this point, from this angle, it looks as though everything went pretty smooth. Laren, have you been able to talk with Drew Simon? He's with the command post. I'm not sure from that angle how things have gone, but at least down here, things look pretty good.
I haven't heard from him yet, but I think we're able to send it back to him, got some of those technical issues resolved. Drew, can you hear me? And if so, kind of what's going on, I guess, where you are there in the command center up above this site?
Well, Laren, I can tell you this was really quite a sight to see this morning. I'm up about 21 stories, and I'm just about a half a block away from the actual scene. That bird's eye view, I was actually looking from that same angle. And it was interesting as you watched the implosion take place, the west side of the building was the part of the building that really started to fall first. If you were watching at home, you witnessed that. And now as you look down at this scene right now, you can see some of the rubble just sitting on top of the former Dayton Daily News building. And then you see just a pile of dust and rubble where that building used to be, and it's a completely different picture from what we saw 15 minutes ago, and it was quite an amazing thing. You could feel the rumble actually beneath your feet here inside of this office building, and you could actually hear some of the folks here at the command center cheering after this was done. Obviously it looks like this was a successful implosion. Looks like it went exactly as planned, and Laren, I tell you what, it really was something to see.
All right, thanks, Drew. And I was just curious, can Gabby still hear me?
Still with you.
I was going to ask you, you were here when I guess the Reich building was imploded to make room for the Schuster Center. Any ideas or a sense of just how this was different from that particular time, and I guess kind of what's going on downtown now as opposed to then?
I think you just called me old, Laren. Yes, I've been around a long time. I can honestly tell you I was a producer back then.
Okay.
I was in the studio at that time, and this is a lot smaller than the implosion back then. If I remember correctly, it was happening in the morning hours. It was a big deal. I remember Ken Jefferson was actually out field reporting. Many people at home watching right now probably remember that name. Ken was around for a very long time. He was wearing a hard hat. He was a little closer. He was kind of in that zone, and he was excited to watch the what would soon be the Schuster Center. Nobody really realizing at that time just how successful that building and that organization and that structure would be for the Dayton area. So many people hoping what happened today will happen the same way that the Schuster Center did, what it did for the downtown Dayton area. It's sad. Like gentleman I talked with a little earlier this week, he said it's sad. He has a lot of memories, but he's really hoping that what is born out of all of this dust and this rubble, what is going to be built here, that will bring some new life to the downtown Dayton area. Now we're just, a few minutes, it's approximately 7:21. We're just about 6 or 7 minutes or so past this detonation, and take a look. We can see all the way now down Ludlow Street. This dust has really moved around. Things are very calm here. I still need to talk with some folks to find out exactly how everything went, but Laren, so far so good. It looks like all the preparation actually paid off here, and so far we're not hearing of anything that was damaged or anything that went wrong. So we just need to talk with someone officially after they probably pop some champagne corks and celebrate that this all happened, and we will chat with them in a little bit as soon as I see someone and ask them how everything went.
Yeah, attribute it to my borderline OCD-ness, but I was looking at the sky shot that we had, and I said, who's going to clean up all of that dust?
Well, they say it's going to take until at least December, and you know, we are expecting to, after the next few minutes or so, we're going to get some of that incredible footage that was shot by Luke and some of the other folks that I showed you earlier. We're going to be sharing that with you a little bit later in the newscast. But again, everything that they told me so far, it happened like clockwork. And if you come over here and look at some of the crowd, basically there's not a lot of people left. Everything is, we're just talking to people. A lot of the media is here talking to people, documenting some things. Some of the crews just waiting to give the okay for everybody to go back out and about in this area. And so far, so good. Pretty calm. Pretty calm, Laren, and I can't wait to see some of that other video.
Right, I understand. From my understanding, there's some of maybe interior of this building going down possibly that we'll be able to get a chance to look at. So I'm excited about that. But thank you, Gabrielle. Yes. I understand we also have some video into our newsroom now, again, of this implosion as it happened this morning. If we can take that very briefly. This is just from a few moments ago. All of those charges going off there. You see the building, 120 feet, 12 stories of Schwind building around the Dayton area since 1913.
History has come tumbling down here.
Coming down to make ready for some student housing going in downtown Dayton. We have continuing coverage still ahead on News Center 7 at 7 this Saturday morning. And for now, we'll come back in just a couple of minutes just to kind of see and get a wrap of what is happening now that building has come tumbling down and appearingly so without any issues and perfectly falling down where and how it was supposed to do so this morning. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes.
Great food, low prices at Kroger.
Of where
right for you, including the Lexus ES and CT hybrids. See Lexus of Dayton.
And here's another look from up above where News Center 7's Drew Simon is perched as those blasts went off and the 120-foot tall, 12-story Schwind building, there you see it going down, was imploded this morning on Ludlow Street in downtown Dayton. Looks like everything went down and it imploded according to plan. You can see the dust plume filling the air in the downtown area there at Ludlow around 3rd Street there. And we still have our crews in place there, and we'll be tossing to them in just a little bit. But yeah, this building's been around since 1913, was built in the year of the Great Flood. And I understand Drew Simon is still, as I said, perched up there above, watching this site below. Drew, kind of how are things going? And I'm pretty sure a big sigh of relief going on there in the command center where you are, right?
Absolutely, Laren, and things have really started to calm down here on the 21st floor of this office building. Now, this office building is actually on the corner of Ludlow and 4th Streets, and as you look down now, I was actually speaking with one of our Dayton Daily News photographers, and we're looking at a street light that was just mere feet away from that building, and somehow that street light is still standing. So it just goes to show exactly how well this was planned out. The implosion went successful as it appears from up here. Now, there is a lot of dust still out on the road. and that's going to be quite a cleanup. And I will tell you, I am glad I'm not the one doing that this morning. But as you look down, it's just an amazing sight. We felt the floor rumble, and you just saw the building fall, and it was really an incredible scene. Now, I do want to send it down to Gabrielle Enright, who's down on street level. And Gabrielle, what was it like for you down there?
I'm like, hey, you. Well, I'm here downtown, still kind of reeling in what happened, and it's very fitting. I wanted to introduce you to Steve Benish. He's been a reporter with the Dayton Daily News for 20 years, and what was that like? You used to work in the building.
Well, it's certainly the end of an era. The Schwind building is best been known in recent years as the home to the Marine Embassy restaurant, and it was a hangout for a great many people, a lot of newspaper reporters and newspaper alums and attorneys and public officials and so on. So seeing it come down is moving in that respect. You know, last night we had a gathering of newspaper alums on the sidewalk outside, and we toasted the end of the building.
Well, and you know, very fitting. It came down like this. We're going to have more coverage. You're going to hear more from Steve and myself coming up in 8 o'clock hour. Reporting live, Gabrielle Enright, News Center 7.
Thanks, Gabrielle, and we look forward to all of this footage that we've got coming into our newsroom of this implosion happening. You can look for that later on News Center 7 this morning. We'll see you at 8 o'clock, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Cheryl